Hey everyone, my name is Max Mal and I'm a PMP certified project manager. You may recognize my face from making a PMP study guide, which I'll link in the description below. In this video, wanted to highlight an area that I've received a lot of feedback and questions on, and that's just how do you break into project management? Let's get into it. So I'm gonna break this down into three main parts. Part one is all about developing your skill set. What are the skills you need in order to become a successful project manager? Part two is all about how to get your foot into the door. Changing from one industry to another or getting your first job can be very difficult. I'm gonna break down what that process looks like and how you can best position yourself. Part three is all about specializing your skill set. Assuming you've developed the skills we mentioned in part one, you've gotten your foot into the door in part two, now specializing in an industry that you're most interested in. Without further ado, let's get into part one. In a very high level and general way, a project manager's job is basically to make sure that a project gets delivered on time. That of course has a lot of moving parts. From my experience in working with other successful project managers, I found the following three skills to be very important for your success. The first of which is having good leadership skills. The second of which is having good communication skills. And the third of which is having good problem solving and decision-making skills. The third one being more technical. With that being said, I'm gonna dive a little bit deeper into what each of those skills means and how you can develop and train that. So when I say leadership, what does that mean? It boils down to how strong is your ability to influence others? When you make a decision, do others listen to you? Do they take your advice? How well do you work within team settings? Is your leadership style more upfront? Are you more direct? There are many different ways to develop your leadership ability. If you're attending university or in grad school, consider running for a school club and getting a leadership position there to develop your experience. If you're a working professional in a separate industry from project management, consider growing in your internal role, looking for opportunities to get more internal responsibilities, and developing your leadership ability there. Regardless of where you are in your career, there are great online resources to help you better understand the psychology of leadership and how to influence others. I'll provide some links below in the description, but in short, this can boil down to attending online leadership training modules or sessions, reading any books on the psychology of leadership, and in general, just learning how to become a servant leader. Okay, so the second skill is communication. How is your verbal and how is your nonverbal communication? A good project manager needs to have strong in-person and written skills when working with any clients or teams. With that being said, when you speak, you need to instill confidence into your teams. When you write, you need to be clear and concise so that everyone can understand what's being done and how to move forward. The interesting thing about communication and leadership skills are these are typically developed based off of just your interactions with people. I feel like these are things that you can read about, you can purchase courses on, but honestly, I think just putting yourself out there and just learning about how to influence people, I think that is the best way moving forward. And the third skill set, your technical ability related to decision making and also problem solving. If a project went smoothly every single time, there would be no need for a project manager. The job would not be useful. Luckily, or unluckily, depending on who you ask, projects never go 100% according to plans. When stuff really hits the fan and when things are escalated, are you able to make these good decisions when under duress and when there's a lot of pressure? I think that's what really separates green project managers from being more experienced. Being able to handle that pressure and to make sure everyone on your team is calm, cool, and collected. You're able to develop your technical ability, number one, through actually doing the job, but if you don't have the luxury of having that, through professional certifications, doing additional online trainings, and through just making yourself more familiar with different project scenarios. I provided a link in my guide below in the description, which has some example project scenarios to help you think about the things that a project manager may deal with. There are a lot of skills that a project manager needs, but these three skills in particular, you don't need project management experience in order to develop those. These are three key ones that can really help you break your foot into the door by demonstrating that you've had experience in each of those. Okay, so with that being said, let's go on to the second part. Now that you know the skills that you need to break into project management, how do you get your foot into the door? With the state of the economy right now and the job market being not as plentiful as it once was, realistically, there is really no magical pill or button that can just get you the opportunity that you're looking for. For most people, your first job will not be your dream job and will likely not be your last job either. I think the most important thing here is to get as much work experience as you can as early as possible. For those without much project management experience, depending on the demonstrated experience you've had in other roles at other organizations, you may want to look for entry-level project management positions where you're able to transition and pivot your career. I would recommend searching for project coordinator positions online or associate project coordinator positions. The project coordinator and associate project coordinator positions, they're catered towards audiences that have less demonstrated experience in project management, and typically there's no requirement as to the years of experience that you need at every product management role. With that being said, I think there are a lot of different job ad platforms such as Indeed, LinkedIn, other ones of that nature where you're able to find quite a number of different project coordinator positions. My recommendation is always try to get the most experience as you can. Try to find a mentor within your organization that can help you develop and grow. And for those that are not able to get a project coordinator position or a position associated to project management, realistically, almost every job that you work is somewhat related to project management. If you have other work experience, it's all about catering and tailoring your experience to reflect that you've been a good project manager and you have the right skill set. To provide an example, let's say that you have been a research associate. When I see research associate on a resume, typically I don't think of project manager or having the right skill set. However, it's all about how you've pitched your experience and how that relates to it. So for the research associate position, if you've been working with teams and you're leading a project, I think that shows leadership. That's an opportunity for you to call out how you've led a team, through a project, and how you've had to account for multiple variables. Of course, every industry will be different, and depending on which project management industry you're applying to, you may need to tailor your experience to make it more relevant. But in essence, mostly every position has some type of leadership role. There is some type of timeline that you need to follow, and there are projects that you need to be responsible for. Then it comes down to, are you able to put that on paper so others will understand that you have the right skill set? If helpful, comment down below if you'd like me to make a comprehensive guide on resumes and what information to put down on there. All right, so for part 3, specializing your skill set. Now that you know how to get your foot into the door, let's talk about specializing and why that may be important. Just like many other industries, project management is one of those where, depending on the industry, projects can look completely different. There are different types of project managers out there. Some that are in IT, some that are in healthcare, some that are in construction, some that are in oil and gas. More than likely, every industry that you've ever heard of has some type of project management position, or there is some type of role that does project management work. I think it's really important to call out here that everyone has different life experiences, and your unique experiences may set you apart from others in that application process. For example, if you went to university and you studied supply chain management, if you're applying to a corporate position that deals with operations, your degree and background in understanding supply chain management, it may give you an advantage. The same goes for, let's say, if you had tutoring experience. If you've managed tutors, if you've developed your own content, consider applying to a tutoring company that needs a project manager, as you'll already know what that entails. That demonstrated experience is one of those things where I think companies really value, just because if you have good project management skills and you already know the industry, that's a lot less training and money that they need to spend on you in order to get you up to speed. The less training you need, the faster you're able to start work and start providing value to their teams. I would highly recommend, when you're looking into project management roles, consider applying to positions and industries that align with your experiences. At a really high level, we've now covered the skills that you need to be a successful project manager, how to get your foot into the door, and how to specialize or think about specializing in a certain industry. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. Again, I know this is a really general video, but especially for newer project managers and less experienced ones who are looking to get their foot into the door. Look for opportunities in your local network, and best of luck with your future endeavors. I hope this video gives you a little more insight. All the resources that I mentioned will be linked down in the description below. Check it out, and I hope you find these tips useful in helping you pursue a career in project management. Thanks for watching the video, and comment below if you have any questions. We'll catch you in the next video.